child?
You talking
Did you
about?
call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
You
Okay. All right, that's what you say.
don't go digging through people. You dumb.
Nobody dig into it.
A little kid just did. You dumb.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old and the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know that's a hate speech, and you can be that.
I don't give
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that. What the internet has to say about you.
So this white woman calls this boy the N-word, howdy, and then a man decides that the best thing to do would be to record her and then cry and complain that she's saying a word that he hears every day from his family. Isn't it time that we stop giving power to a word that has no more credibility than any other insult? A word that, if replaced by any other insult, would have drawn none to limited attention, including other racist slurs, especially those directed at white people. And before you criticize anyone for saying a word, you need to first get that word out of your own vocabulary. Now, I don't use either the A or ER version of that word. However, I'm not personally offended by a white person who does. And I certainly will never be, as long as majority of other black people consistently call other black people a word very similar to that word. But it was a child. It was a child that was behaving inappropriately and got called a bad name that if he was not behaving inappropriately, he probably would not have gotten called any names. To me, that does not read a racist. So this is a woman. She was doxxed. Her job, her house address, her phone number, and even her gym was posted online. She received numerous of death threats and harassment. So because of all the trauma she has been facing and the dangerous situation that she was put in, she set up for a Give Send Go page. Right there, you can see how much. Yeah, go send her money. I support it. People do not deserve to be instigated, intimidated, and harassed, let alone threatened because they say a bad word. And lastly, the man who confronted her and also stalked her and harassed her, following her to her car, is himself a registered ex-offender. He has a SA charge towards a teenager. So is this really a person that should have been anywhere close to a park? And is this really a person that we should sympathize with? And for any of you individuals who did go out of your way to harass the woman online, I ask you who deserves to be harassed more between the two. Who are you really more concerned with between those two? A person who essayed a teenager in a park, or a person who used a inappropriate word in a park? Sexual assault case. This is the man behind the camera. This is actually his brother, who was also arrested for the same offenses. Both men have joint charges of third and fifth degree chroma SA contact after being accused of raping a 16-year-old after offering her a place to stay. It's non-consensual penetration. So yeah, a predator. Is that really somebody that we should be supporting? And then sadly, there's other prejudice race baiters who have been comparing this case to Carmelo Anthony and his GoFundMe page, and how people was obviously appropriately angry over that and saying that, oh, well, this is the same idea. Absolutely not. And I also do apologize for not making a video on this sooner. I know I made one very quickly into that case. And unfortunately, I was not able to give a update video on it. Of course, I'm completely disgusted by his release and then his purchases with his GoFundMe money. But I'm equally as disgusted at any person who would make a comparison between a person getting money to relocate because they've been receiving death threats for saying a word, and comparing that to a savage murderer who was given money, when he then went on to purchase properties. And the self-defense strategy is completely ridiculous. He was told numerous times by the victim to leave. He was instigating and provoking the victim for a physical altercation. He was threatening him. He had a deadly weapon on him that should have never been brought to that location to begin with. The victim at no point ever physically assaulted him, never displayed any type of weapon of any kind. So go on and continue to stick up for lowlifes, delinquents, and chromos until one day one of these savages causes severe harm to you or one of your loved ones. Because statistically, it shows that you are more likely to be physically harmed by someone of your own race rather than someone of a different race. I'm Vegan MAGA, and you can hate me if you like.